Happy Hanukkah, day number 2, everyone. We know that in Judaism we have 3 different types of candles. We have the candles of Shabbat, which we light every Friday night, as well as before every holiday, the Shabbos and holiday candles. But then we have the Hanukkah candles, which we light throughout the 8 nights of Hanukkah. And then we have the 3rd candle, which is the Havdalah candle that we light on Saturday night. And there's an interesting question in Jewish law. What happens if a person is very poor, God forbid, and they can't afford Shabbos candles and Hanukkah candles? Which one takes precedence? And Jewish law says unequivocally that the candle that takes precedence is the Shabbat candles, because the purpose of the Shabbat candles is to bring peace and harmony in the home. In the olden days there was no light, so you needed candles to bring warmth and light to the home so everyone should dwell in tranquility together. And therefore Jewish law says that peace and tranquility in the home is more important than the Hanukkah candles. Because the purpose of the Hanukkah candles is to ignite and to illuminate the outside. We put it by the window or by the door of our homes in the olden days, but today we put it at the windows to cast our light outward to the street, to the public space. Because as you know, you can't curse the darkness. You could only create light, which automatically dispels the darkness. And so Jewish law says first you have to create light within your own home, within your own life. And once you are fully ablaze with warmth, with light, with radiance, with goodness, then you can go to your window, you can go to the street, and you could ignite and illuminate the outside world around you, to transform some of that darkness and banish it with your personal light. But then comes the Havdalah candle. And the Havdalah candle, as we know, is different than the Shabbos candle or the Hanukkah candle. Because the law is that a Havdalah candle has to have multiple wicks. It can't have one wick. It has to have at least 2 wicks. And the 2 wicks blend together and create one fire. And that's the message of the Havdalah candle. That we take our personal light, the light of Judaism, in our homes, and we combine that with the light that we take to the outside world. When we come to the world with the light, we bring our Jewish identity, our Jewish values, our Jewish principles, and we use that inner light to bring warmth and illumination to the world around us. When we do that with our identity proud and intact, then we have the Havdalah candle, which is the combination of both lights. You know, in 1993, there was a family in Billings, Montana. It was Dr. Barry and Tammy Schnitzler. And Dr. Schnitzler was sitting downstairs one night when suddenly he heard a crash upstairs. It sounded like broken glass. He ran upstairs, and when he came to the landing upstairs, he felt a cold breeze coming from his children's bedroom. He ran into his children's room, and he saw someone threw a brick through his children's bedroom. And thank God his children were not hit, miraculously. And he knew right away why, because you see, his kids had come home from Hebrew school that Sunday, and they had drawn pictures of beautiful menorahs. And since the tradition is to put the menorah in the window, he and his wife had hung these menorahs in the window of their children's bedroom. And a white supremacist saw the menorahs in the windows of the bedrooms of the children and threw a brick through it. He called the police in Billings, Montana. They came, and they basically said, it's not anti-Semitism, it's not a hate crime, it's just a vandalism, and you need to put bars on your windows. Well, he was furious. And then he knew that a neighbor of his, a few days later, was having the senator of Montana in his home as a guest. That was Senator Conrad Burns, was coming to his house for a parlor meeting. And he was bringing with him Senator Bob Dole. So he called the senator's office, Conrad Burns' office, and told him, I heard you're coming to my block for a parlor meeting in a home. I want you to come to my home and see what happened, how a white supremacist threw a brick through my children's bedroom. The senator agreed to come, and a few days later, Senator Bob Dole and Senator Conrad Burns came to his home to see what happened, and he showed them the room and the brick and the shattered window. And the media came along, and suddenly there was a story in the Billings newspaper. And suddenly all the people in Billings heard about this anti-Semitic incident. And he started getting cards with condolences, with expressions of support in the mail. And then a local Catholic school had all the children draw a picture of menorah and told the children to go home and hang it in their windows. And then local stores started making pictures of menorahs and giving it to the customers to hang in their windows. And then the Billings Gazette on Hanukkah ran a full-page ad with a beautiful, colorful, full-color menorah with perforations around the menorah, and instructed everyone to cut out the menorah from the newspaper, this beautiful full-color menorah, and hang it in their windows in a show of solidarity and support for the Jewish community and for the Schnitzler family. And over 10,000 homes in Billings, Montana that year had a menorah hanging in their windows for a community of 150 Jews. That's what it means to be proud Jews, to stand tall and to stand up to the hatred and to the evil and to the anti-Semitism and say, this is who we are. We will never hide our light. We will never try to suppress it. We will never try to be only insular because of fear of what the world may say. We will bring our light that has burned for thousands of years, and we will use our unique light to help transform the darkness of this world and making this world filled with the light of goodness, kindness, righteousness, and holiness. Tonight, as you light the menorah for night number 3, light it in the window. And remember that as a Jew, we have an obligation to bring more light to our surroundings, to our environment, to our community, to our society, to our country, and ultimately to the entire world. That's what Jews have always done. That's what Jews will always do. Have a wonderful day.